Alrighty, so I know Margaret doesn't come out, or Ludociel doesn't come out until another week or so, but I did want to go over her skills and everything like that, and maybe look at some stuff that you can try to work on over the next week or so if you're actually wanting to summon for her, so that way you can try to get the best use out of her whenever she drops. So the big thing about Margaret is her passive right here is increases the basic stats of goddess race allies by 8% every time an ally uses a stance or buff skill. So you basically want to put a lot of people who can either buff or stance on your team, and there are 2 teams right now that run a lot of that kind of stuff. So the 2 main teams that I have seen are pretty much placeholder is regular Ludociel, by the way. It's this team right here. So you got Droll and Gowther, of course. Gowther's, pretty good, obviously, because his rank up is considered a buff card, and you can just kind of rank up Margaret's cards and stuff like that and get ready for whenever you have 5 stacks of her passive. That way you can start dealing really high damage and everything like that. So that's really, really cool, because I don't know, I guess it's cool because Gowther ranks up, and that's always nice, but Gowther is so meta crazy. Like, he's been in pretty much every single meta except for Bon and Assault Melee, but I don't know. Other than that, we have Blue Droll, who is also a very interesting character. I do really like Blue Droll a lot because he has a stance card which taunts, and it's also considered to be a buff card. So it's not technically a stance, I guess, but the buff itself taunts and increases your HP related stats of Droll. So that's really, really nice. He's also immune to petrification, so that's kind of nice. You could run Blue Derriere technically instead of Droll. You could probably run Chandler instead of Droll, but I think Droll overall just has a really nice balance, and I have my Droll built up the most, so it makes more sense for me to use Droll. So if you're wanting to use the most meta relevant team, this is kind of the one that you're looking at. If you need to, if you don't already have cosmetics and stuff like that for Death Pierce, I recommend going ahead and buying them, or just, I don't know, if you're not really planning on using Death Pierce a whole lot, then maybe don't. But I have waited so long to buy his cosmetics because I was really hoping that they were going to build more or put out more sets for him, and I still don't have his outfits or weapons, but I did just go ahead and buy his extra cosmetics and stuff like that, so that way I can get a little bit more CC. But I don't know, he's still missing a headpiece, and he's so relevant. Like, he's on a lot of teams. I figured they would give him some outfits by now, but it really just hasn't happened. But anyways, of course, Gowther is Gowther. He's the red Gowther has been out for a really long time, so you probably already have a lot of his cosmetics maxed out. If you don't, I would recommend doing the new gold coin shop. It is really, really good for like cosmetic upgrades and stuff like that. They over the course of the game, they've given out a pretty decent amount of like free cosmetics and stuff like that for him. I know that this White Wave Cheering one was free. This was the new like Gowther Legend Final Boss difficulty one that you got. If you were able to beat that one. I think this one is bought, actually. Yeah, this is the most malevolent knighthood set. This was the regular knighthood boss one, which hasn't been around in a while, so you might not have that one if you're a newer player. But a lot of the cosmetics and stuff like that I have for him are free, technically. Like, this one's free. That's his normal UR outfit. That's Green Gowther's UR outfit. So these 2 right here are bought. But Gowther is so relevant on a lot of teams, whether it be PvE or PvP, so I really don't think you could go wrong buying cosmetics for Gowther and maxing them out, because I mean, honestly, he's so good. Like, you can just use him on pretty much anything. So having Gowther maxed out and then having Droll maxed out is going to be your main stuff for this team right here. Obviously, Green Gowther, not very, free-to-play friendly. There is going to be Green Gowther on the new QSAC banner that they announced today, as the day I'm recording this. But I don't really know if I could recommend you summon on that banner or not. I really don't know how QSAC is going to play yet, so if you need Green Gowther and you don't have him yet, I would probably advise you to summon on it, just because Green Gowther is so good. But yeah, the other team that you're basically going to be looking at is just like pretty much a full Angel team. So you're pretty much going to run Tarmiel and Sariel up front with Ludo. which Sariel is like PvE god. So if you don't already have like UR gear or anything like that for these characters, if you don't have his outfits and stuff like that already bought or maxed out, I obviously haven't maxed out his SSR outfits and stuff like that because I really don't want to spend that many extra cosmetic upgrades. But now that we have the gold coin shop dungeon, I may end up trying to grind that a lot more, so that way I can get some of these more like lower tier ones maxed out and get a little bit more out of my stats. But I don't know, these are really good characters that, you know, people still use a ton. So if you don't have these characters and you're a newer player, I would recommend probably summoning on the part 3 banner. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but the part 3 banner has so many good units on it. It has all of the archangels, it has Chandler, it's got just a good lineup, honestly. And the longer that you wait, the more it's going to get kind of cluttered up with just newer characters and stuff like that maybe aren't as good on the banner. So right now is pretty much your best chance to get like archangels and stuff like that out of it, because it's a newer sort of banner and they haven't added any other characters to the part 3 banner yet. So just making sure that you have all of your archangels and stuff like that, because that's basically the two teams. You basically either want to run all archangels with her, so that way you can buff your other like angel, like goddess units through her passive and her, I can't remember exactly. Her commandment is when attacking using skills for every stance or buff effect on the enemy, increases the hero's attack by 5%. So that's pretty much only going to be used for Margaret herself, or the Ludociel himself. So your teammates really aren't going to get that much out of it. But if you're running the angel team, buffing their stats by 8% per buff and stance card used is going to be very, very nice. So if you are going to be running the full angel team, I would recommend probably running... I definitely would recommend running Tarmiel up front. Sariel is kind of an iffy one, because his passive is really good because it buffs goddess race allies by 20% basic stats, but it can't be used in the back slot, so you don't want to really put him in the back. You could potentially run Goddess Liz to help with survivability and have a res. The new Ellie Hawk is okay because you could put her in the back slot, and that would actually help out a little bit with just like countering AoE attacks and stuff like that, because for every goddess on the field, AoE attacks are going to be lowered by 10%. So that could help with survivability as well. I think if you're gonna run Sariel, I would recommend putting this new Ellie Hawk in the back, but I think if you're not gonna run Sariel up front, then maybe just do Goddess Liz. But yeah, I don't think that there's really any other decent goddesses that you could really use. I don't think, pretty sure Nanashi's still considered unknown, so yeah, you can't really use him because he's not going to get the buff. I mean, you could technically use whoever you want in the back. That's why the other team uses Death Pierce in the back. So you could probably just use him. Just know that he's, you know, if one of your angels up front dies, you're not going to be able to get your, he's not going to get buffed by Margaret's passive. So it's kind of up to you. There's a little bit of stuff that you just kind of have to prepare for. I definitely recommend doing like training grotto and stuff like that to get engraving stones and stuff, so you can get UR gear for the characters that you don't already have UR sets for. I know Droll is kind of a niche one. He might not be someone that you want to have a UR set on. I ended up making one whenever Assault Mode Meliodas was relevant, or like super relevant whenever he first came out. So I already had one for him, and I would like to work on it a little bit before she comes out, so that way I can actually get a little bit more stats on my gear. But honestly, if you don't have one for Gother at this point, definitely make one. It's worth having for sure. I do have one for Death Pierce as well. I've went ahead and made an extra set for Ludociel. I already had a HP defense set that is like literally, it is maxed out completely. I have 15% rolls on everything, and my gear, like my actual like base stat rolls on all of the equipment, is as close to it as I can get without like absolutely just destroying myself with anvils. I honestly don't have, like, I'm not perfect on all of these rolls, but I'm very comfortable with how my attack crit damage set has come out so far. I think this is going to be the more aggressive set that I'm going to want to use on the new Ludociel. Plus, this blue Ludo, this one right here, the regular Ludo, I think he gets more of a benefit because of his commandment, or no, not his commandment, his passive lowering enemies defense depending on your combat class. I think he's just going to benefit more on the HP defense set. So I think it's going to be more beneficial for me to just have that set on him, and then my Margaret will just hold on to my my attack defense, or my attack crit damage set. So I think for now, as far as I can tell, the attack crit damage set seems to be the way to go. But if you're running maybe the Angels team and you're using Sariel or something like that, he's also like a really good damage dealer. You could potentially try to use like the HP defense set and everything like that on him. But I think for the most part, the attack crit damage set is going to be the way to go with Margaret. So that is pretty much all I have to go over. Honestly, I mean, the biggest thing is, anybody can make gear, anybody can, get the cosmetics and stuff like that. I mean, obviously it takes gems and stuff, but the biggest thing is you're not going to be able to get like a lot of copies and stuff like that for most of these characters. The only character that you can really just get like easy copies for is going to be Droll, because he's a coin shop unit. But even then, if he's not on sale, it's 10 platinum coins per Droll copy, so that's not particularly cheap. You may not have the platinum coins for that at this time. So yeah, I don't know. Just depending on what level your stuff is, it might help. You might want to switch some stuff around, kind of mess with whatever's best for you. But those are the two teams that have kind of like been the most relevant. Obviously, people have been running her with all kinds of different stuff. I've seen Sigurd comps and the one Escanor comps with her, all kinds of different things. So I think there's going to be a lot of room for experimentation. She's not like a strictly like run me with Angels sort of like unit. So you can have fun with it, kind of mess around with it, but just know that those are kind of the two teams that are the most relevant and the most like you might be able to get the most use out of. So that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helped. If I missed anything, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'll make sure to either like pin it or just try to let everybody know. But yeah, that is it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one.